What's going on, guys? It is Shay here. Welcome back to another video, and today, everybody, we're going to be doing something a little bit different today on my channel. We are going to be looking at a guitar amp. That's exactly what we're going to be doing today. And this is this amp right here, which I have not shown yet. And I have been playing the fuck out of this thing ever since I got this thing yesterday. But there are some some catches about this that or whatever the hell they're called. It may kind of catch your eye a little bit on what this amp looks like. It's a guitar amp, of course, and it has some cool stuff up here, but I will also show off my other amp that I have, which was my first amp that I got, and I will show this thing off, and then we'll test out this amp with my guitars. So, yeah, with that being said, let's begin. So, this amp right here, I'm pretty sure this amp may seem familiar to some people. This is a Crate G60 XL amp. It's relatively dirty, and if you can kind of tell on the top, this has been used for probably a couple of years. I got this from a pawn shop yesterday for about close to about 60 bucks. And this amp works really well. This amp has distortion on it. Distortion channel, or the gain, of course. Distortion is over here. The level and shape. The shape pretty much just gives you different kind of, I guess, tones, pretty much. Like, if you turn it all the way up, like, to, you know, that side, it gives you, like, a really bassy and punchy kind of tone. You have a couple channel selects. You can, of course, switch it from distorted to the clean. It's currently on a clean channel. I decided to set up to the clean channel before I started this video. You have, of course, volume, highs, which the knob is missing. You have reverb on this, which is really, really cool. This is the one thing that I really like about this amp, is that it has fucking reverb. And I will test that in a minute. But however, though, here's one little funny thing. Look at the back. The back is, like, taken off, but I don't know if this is supposed to look like that or not, which I highly doubt it's supposed to look like this. But this is what the back looks like. Very, like, I guess, crude setup going on here. And that right there is my old amp, or my first amp, a Fender Frontman 10G. Not that great of an amp. This is the amp I've been playing through with, like, all of my, you know, doing at least one riff videos. I know, so you look at my fucking guitar in the shadow. But this is the fucking amp I've been using to play, like, all those, which is why sometimes you hear crackling from the amp. This is a 60 watt guitar amp. I think that's 20 watts, I think. So this is, like, a big step right here. And until this thing fucks up on me, I will continue to use this amp. Because, you know, this is, like, people call this a practice amp, pretty much. But, yeah. I really do like this amp, though. It's a really good amp for a starter, but not for me, mainly because I only have, like, one or two settings that I can use, which are, you know, a clean channel and then a distorted channel. However, though, the one downside to this amp is that it does not have a headphone jack, which means I can only play this whenever no one else is at home, or whenever there's very few people at home. So, yeah. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get with this amp, and we are going to test this thing out. Alright, here we go. That's what it sounds like when you turn it on. We are currently on a clean channel. So we have... Sounds pretty good. This is, my guitar is tuned in drop C sharp, by the way. I'm planning on tuning this back to drop C, but I'm afraid if I do that, my strings are gonna snap, because I've had my strings... I usually change out my strings on my guitar, or go get them changed out, or get my guitar restringed every month, every 2 months maybe, because I have heavy strings on my guitar, so they last a bit longer. But yeah, let's just go ahead and, I don't know, let's just play a little something, I guess. Let's play a Streamline. Sounds pretty good. Now let's actually turn on this reverb here. Turning all the way up. That sounds so fucking cool. And it just, I don't know, it just gives it, like, a more ethereal kind of feel to it. I mean, as with any kind of reverb on an amp, so it goes. We're gonna play Finn McMissile's theme song from Cars 2, which I've learned how to play. I've been known how to play it, but you know I've never actually shown it off before. So I think I'm a little rusty. I just got out of the bed maybe about 30 minutes ago. So let's just go ahead and just try this. That is like the one thing I really love about this amp is that it has that reverb, and whenever I want to play in a clean channel, it does that. We try to play Roulette from System of a Down, which is this right here. What's another song I know I can play? That's on a clean channel, that is. I know we're not gonna play it right because my guitar's not tuned to a half a step down from standard, but I can play Starshine from Gorillaz, which is. Let's see, there's another song. Oh yeah, the intro to Suggestions, which is. But yeah, there's like, oh, hang on, I want this like thing to stay on because it's like my background for whenever I do like a guitar video, pretty much. Or this may just be my background in general for whenever I do like a video where I'm in my my side of like a little office, quote unquote. But that's what the clean channel sounds like with all the reverb, and of course, you know, without the reverb, this is of course it just sounds like a normal clean channel. Let's see, what's another one I can do? What does it sound like with the reverb on? And I don't really know how to play Sloth Hollywood like that, but it's like. But this clean channel with reverb sounds amazing. I really like it. Now we're going to switch over to the distorted channel. We're going to turn off the reverb. Switch. And also there's another thing over here for, you know, like another, for like if you want something, I think that's pretty much what it is, a little bit quieter. It's like another slot where you can plug in your core. Hear that? Also, of course, you can do this with reverb as well. But however, though, I'm going to plug this up into this hole. It pretty much just gives you, from what I can tell, less, what's his name? Less feedback. So we're going to switch on the reverb. Got that. As I said, I'm going to turn the shape tone all the way down. And we're going to put it back into normal slot. Oh wait, my reverb's supposed to be turned off. So this is what it sounds like. Sounds pretty cool, right? Let's see. Let's just play any song. Turn this up a tad bit more. Now we're gonna turn the shape or the thing all the way up. This thing gives it a little bassy, kind of punchy tone a little bit, which I really do like. Let's see. With the shape thing all the way up, it just sounds so great. We can of course put it in the middle. Gives it louder. Jeez. That sounds really nice. Let's see, there's a... Okay, we'll try to play another song. So you have that right there. There's so many other songs that like would sound amazing like with this amp or whatever. I would play more Gorillaz songs, but my guitar is not tuned to at least half a step down. I can tune it to that. All I have to do is tune my low E string a couple of octaves down, and then bam, you know, I'm down to that. Which I actually had it tuned out a couple days ago, but I tuned it back to C sharp. So many songs on this sound amazing, dude. Like, I don't know, because we're gonna plug up my other amp and we're gonna test that out and see how that sounds. But for the most part, dude, this amp sounds amazing. Like, I think this is an old amp too, like, you know, even if this wasn't, oh my god, I can't speak. Even if it didn't look like this, I think this amp is like, what, made in like the 1980s or something? I don't know, that's what I read online. Cause not much information on this guitar amp exists. So, I don't know. Disclaimer though, my other amp is gonna be behind my tripod, so that's where you're gonna be hearing the sound from. I hope I didn't hit I sound like I hit my fucking tripod. Alright, so my other amp is on. Listen to that. That's the one thing I hate about this. So, you know what, because of that, we're gonna turn this down a little bit, because I did want this up, but we're gonna turn it down. I'll be nice to my amp today. So, this was just maybe like a different neck setting, I guess. Sounds a lot different, a lot quieter. Let's switch it over to a distorted channel. I didn't press it all the way, didn't I? The fuck? That ain't good. But we're gonna try to play this thing on the best of my ability. My amp is breaking up quite a lot. So that's one thing I really don't like about that amp, is that it breaks up a lot, but I think that's to be expected from a $80 amp. I don't know how much the one, you know, my current one goes. From what I've been seeing, it's been going for about 120 used. I don't know. And that's one thing I've always hated, which is one reason why my amp is always on like a low volume, because, well, yeah, even in the videos, like the, what is his name? The, doing at least one riff videos, I always keep it at a low volume, because in those videos, you can, like, audibly hear my fucking amp crackling, like, you know, buzzing, which is really stupid. I hate it. Something like a little sound over here. I don't know if it's one of those jumping bugs or not. But that's pretty much what that amp sounds like. I don't really like that amp that much. So yeah. For that reason, I'm probably gonna play it a little bit less often, and more of just, of course, use it as is intended, which is a practice amp. I may just do that. Who knows? But yeah, for the most part, my amp is going. This is going to be my primary amp. So yeah, man. That's pretty much what that sounds like. But I really, really like this amp a lot, dude. So in conclusion, this amp is really good. So I'm pretty much saying, and I don't know if this was much of a review. This is more of me just showing off my new amp and testing it out and stuff like that. But for close to, well, I think it was about $58, but as I said, close to 60. But for 50 bucks, this is at, or for a used amp like this, that will probably go for about 120. This is really good. I really like this amp, and I do recommend this amp to anybody who is like, I don't know, new or anything like that. But because as I said, I've done a little bit of research on this amp, and for the most part, it sells for like close to about 120, which is an okay price. Okay price, I would say, for a starter or beginner amp, because it has a good amount of settings up here. You have distortion, you have different tones you can get out of the distortion, not just from your guitar, but you can get it from the amp itself. And that pick hurt the fuck out of my finger. And for other stuff like, you know, reverb, it has reverb up here, dude, which is pretty cool. You have different tone settings you can have for the clean channel, as I said, not just on the guitar, but you know, from the amp. And yeah, this thing has a lot of, well, a good amount of settings to it. I wish I had more, but hey, this is the best I'm gonna get out of this for something that is, you know, relatively cheap. But for the most part, though, that pretty much about does it for this video. I'm probably gonna go off and make another video of me just playing around with this amp and playing a couple songs, maybe playing a System of a Down song from, you know, that kind of stuff. So yeah. Other than that, this amp is really good, and I do recommend this to anybody. So yeah, with that being said, I hope everybody enjoyed this, and with that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.